Hello there. To all the Sagittarius souls quietly stepping through the door of transformation. If you're listening to these words right now, it's probably not by chance. Maybe some part of you has already felt it. A wave rising, subtle, yet unstoppable, not loud, not announced. Just a quiet knowing that the universe is turning its gaze toward you, and that something big is coming. I'm sitting here in the stillness of starlight, holding the same well-worn tarot deck I've always used to connect with the energy of the boldest spirits, you, the ones born under Sagittarius. In this space, I hear a whisper, a strange vibration around a soul that once felt so familiar to you, someone whose name starts with a letter your heart knows too well, someone who left a deep mark, and maybe made you stop in your tracks. I'm shuffling the cards, not just to see what's coming, but to help you remember what truly matters. The first card falls, Death, a card that makes some hesitate, but not you, not a Sagittarius who stared into the eyes of endings and still found hope. This is not a finale, it's a transformation, a connection that's grown stale, a version of yourself that's completed its mission. A door that's closing, not to punish you, but to protect you from what no longer fits the light you've become. And then, like a gentle breeze stirring forgotten memories, the Six of Cups appears. Nostalgia, a reunion in the soul, a love once buried by misunderstanding and distance. Yes, this person, the one with that letter, they once hurt you, but they were also once a part of your heart. The universe isn't bringing them back to reopen old wounds. No, they're returning to help you finish a chapter left unfinished. And this time, they come bearing healing. Next, Ace of Pentacles, the card of beginnings, of value, of a gift, physical in form, but spiritual in depth. It might come as a business opportunity, a contract, a payment, an asset. But what matters isn't the number, it's what it symbolizes. It's proof that you're worthy. That life is beginning to reflect back the truth of your worth. And here's the twist. That person, the one with the letter, they may very well be the key to unlocking this new doorway. Quietly, unexpectedly. I flip the next card. The Lovers. Not just romance, but choice. A soul-deep decision stands before you. Between forgiveness and resentment, between opening your heart and guarding it, the universe is placing you at an emotional crossroads. You can choose silence, but if you're brave enough to choose love, you won't just free yourself, you'll untangle karmic cords that have bound you to this person across lifetimes. And then, a soft breath escapes as the Ten of Cups reveals itself. Peace, family. The kind of joy that lives in quiet hugs, in shared dinners that carry no tension. The universe is showing you something beautiful. That even things once shattered can be rebuilt, not with the same bricks, but with something stronger. Sincerity. Maybe you once thought, it's over, it's too late. But maybe some part of you was always waiting. And now, it's coming back to you. In a form you never expected. I draw again, and here it is. The Three of Swords, reversed. I know. You've been through pain, betrayal, rejection, silences that hurt more than shouting ever could. But when this card turns upside down, it no longer screams of heartbreak. It whispers, healing, a sign that you're no longer defined by the cuts, but by your power to rise above them. And finally, the Nine of Pentacles. Just the sight of this card makes me pause, close my eyes, and take a deep, slow breath. Because in this world, there's nothing more sacred than someone who can stand tall on their own, without being lonely. This card speaks of independence, graceful self-mastery. You don't need anyone to rescue you. You're the one who rebuilt yourself, brick by brick, and now, you have nothing to prove to anyone. Life will reflect your abundance back to you, not as a reward from others, but as a gift earned by your quiet sacrifices. If your heart just stirred, even a little, leave a comment. I receive abundance, not so I know you're here, but so the universe does. That simple act is a ceremony, an affirmation, a flame being lit. Don't rush. Stay in this feeling. Let this reading lead you back to a part of yourself you may have forgotten. And when you're ready, open your eyes again with a new heart and a new path. A path where you no longer need to prove that you're worthy of receiving. You simply remember you've always been the light destiny was waiting for. And then, in that soft ripple between light and truth, temperance appears, a whisper from the universe, gentle as mist, but steady as diamond, water pouring from one cup to another, not rushed, not spilled, just balanced. This card teaches you that not everything needs a reaction. Not every wound needs fixing. You don't have to save anyone. You only need to hold your stillness when the world around you shakes. Because some things will heal when you stop touching them. If you're still here with me, right now, still listening under this light, leave this vow with yourself. I trust the process. Don't just listen. Walk with it. Let your own intention declare to the universe that you are ready to receive blessings, not through your hands, but through your faith. Every like, every comment is a golden thread woven into the cloak of your divine destiny. And then I draw the next card, and a surge of fiery energy bursts through. The Knight of Wands. He rushes forward like fire on the wind. This is the sign. The waiting is over. A sequence of events is about to begin, and they won't wait for you to pack your bags. That soul who left a mark in your past, they're returning in a way you won't expect. Messages, signs, appearances. It will all come at once, like a summer rainstorm, and you won't have time to doubt. Action will be the bridge, emotion, the compass. Before you can even catch your breath, I pull another card, the Two of Cups, and everything goes quiet. This is soul connection. When two beings, once out of sync, find each other again on the same frequency. It could be a friend, a family member, or someone written in your bloodline, but you'll feel it, that recognition that rises through your chest with just one look, a silent knowing. This is why we were once family. And then, the wheel of fortune turns. A new cycle begins. Everything that once stalled starts to move again. Maybe you waited. Maybe you doubted. But once the wheel spins upward, nothing can hold you in the deep. You don't have to force it, but you do have to be ready to receive it. Then comes a pause. The Four of Pentacles. And here, I ask you to be honest with yourself. What are you still clinging to? A memory? A habit? A belief that you only deserve love when you suffer? This card doesn't judge you. It just asks, are you ready to let go? Because abundance, freedom, healing, they're all waiting for you. On the other side of release, I know this energy is dense. Maybe you feel it soaking into your skin right now. If you do, write this down. My family is healthy. Not for others to see, but so you can witness your own prayer in the light of your truth, because when you dare to write it, to believe it, the universe dares to respond. The next card is the Page of Cups, the messenger of emotion. I feel it. A message is on its way, not from the outside world, but from your own heart, or maybe from a heart that once left. A note, a voice memo, a simple hello that somehow opens an entire galaxy of memory. You'll know then you were never forgotten, and that you still matter. The Seven of Wands rises next, a shield, a reminder. In this journey of reconciliation, you don't have to sacrifice your soul's boundary just to feel loved. You are allowed to have limits. You are allowed to say no, even to someone you love. Forgiveness doesn't mean leaving the door wide open. Sometimes it means learning how to keep the door, but open your heart. Then, the 8 of Pentacles. It confirms what I already felt. You've both been doing the inner work. All those sleepless nights, all the journaling, all the texts you never sent, just to protect your peace. None of it was for nothing. It built the foundation for a reunion that's no longer rooted in war, but in understanding. And then, a radiant feminine glow spreads across the room as the Empress appears. This might be your mother, or it might be you, remembering how you once knew how to love without condition. This card says, only when you become a safe, emotional home for yourself can others find their way back to you. Write this down. I open my heart and share this message with someone in your family, someone who may need a door to begin their own healing journey. And if this brought you any value, any insight, any warmth, then like and subscribe. Not for me, but because you deserve to walk with the energy that's calling you forward. A cold wind moves through. As the King of Swords arrives, he's not here to comfort. He's here to reveal. No filters, no illusions. And soon, the truth will rise to the surface. It may surprise you, but this is the freedom you once prayed for. No more guessing, no more secrets, only the clarity of light. The 5 of Cups, reversed, closes the circle like an embrace after a long cry. This card says, enough. It's time to release the spilled cups. It's time to see the 3 that are still full, still shining, still waiting for you to lift them. You don't need to fix the past. You only need to stop sacrificing the future for the sake of what's already gone. And if you feel like this message was meant for you, you're right. It is. And it's no accident. Because your soul sent the signal long before you pressed play. Because you've always been the one. You just now finally believe it. And then, when the heart has played enough of its low notes, when the soul has been touched by both fire and water, a blade of light slices through the dark. The Ace of Swords. Like lightning cracking across the sky, this card brings a clear, sharp beginning. Undeniable, unmistakable, a mental awakening, a moment where you, or the one you thought was long gone, finally see the truth that emotions once clouded. No more guessing, no more assuming, only the sharp light of clear understanding. And from that clarity, a mystical card appears. The Magician. You're no longer a bystander in this story. You are the creator. You're not waiting at the door for someone else to open it. You are the one holding the key. Every tool, every energy, every word, every action, you already hold it all. You don't need perfection to begin. You just need to begin. And you'll create the miracle yourself. The next card is the 6 of Wands, a symbol of victory after a long and brutal test. But this isn't just a personal win. This is recognition from those who once doubted you, from those who turned away, from those who misunderstood your light. Now, they see the storms you've walked through, and they see the fire still burning in your eyes. The same hands that once let you go are now raised to applaud you. Not because you were always right, but because you never gave up. But now, you'll need balance. The 2 of Pentacles arrives, like a juggler spinning 2 worlds in the air. Work and family, logic and feeling, past and future. You can't let one sacred connection sweep away the entire ecosystem of your life. You still have to eat, breathe, work, love others, even when your heart is fighting its own private war. Be flexible, stay centered, don't lose yourself in the name of saving someone else. Then comes justice. And you know what? This card isn't here to punish. It's here to restore. If there was injustice, unfair words, wounds that were brushed aside, the universe will balance the scales. You don't need to demand justice, because destiny will handle it far more precisely than any earthly court ever could. What you need is a peaceful heart. Trust that what you gave in truth will always be returned in a form deeper than you can imagine. Now, the Nine of Wands appears, a warrior worn down, but still standing. You've come so far. Maybe you feel like this is your final stretch, but hear this. This is not the end. It's the last breath before the light breaks. This card isn't a warning. It's a reminder to get ready for your reward. Don't quit when you're just a few steps away. And if you're tired, write this down. I deserve peace and love. Every word you write becomes a sword of light, cutting through the dark. The Three of Pentacles follows, like a quiet invitation to build, together, this bond between you and them, or between you and your family. It cannot be healed by solo effort. You'll need to rebuild together, brick by brick, with compassion, with patience. No one builds a castle of love alone. And this is your reminder. You were never meant to do it all by yourself. Then she arrives, the Queen of Cups, and I swear, I can feel the warmth from this card reaching across the space between us. This queen doesn't speak much, but her heart hears everything. She reminds you, listen to your intuition. It's your most loyal companion. Don't try to analyze everything with logic. Some things, only the heart understands. And you, with your soft gaze, your deep compassion, even for those who once hurt you, you are the living embodiment of this queen. And now, the Four of Swords whispers to you, rest. Not every battle must be fought. Sometimes, the greatest victory is knowing when to stop, close your eyes, breathe, and allow yourself to recover. After the talks, after the opening, after the untying of knots, you'll need a moment to absorb it all. Don't rush decisions. While your hands are still trembling, give yourself the stillness you've always deserved. And then, the Ten of Wands shows up like a heavy backpack across your shoulders. But this time, you don't have to carry it all. Part of this journey is learning how to share the weight. You don't have to be the firekeeper for the entire family. You don't have to be the only strong one anymore. Write this down. I release. It's not weakness. It's wisdom. It's an acknowledgement that you deserve to feel light again. Then, a spark flares. Ace of Wands, a new flame, a fresh fire. The reconnection between you and them. It doesn't just bring healing. It ignites a new passion for life. A new inspiration for both of you. Family no longer feels like duty. It returns to its true nature. The joy of belonging. The sacred space where you are seen fully. And then, the Five of Pentacles emerges. Not to warn you, but to remind you, behind every lonely night is a doorway waiting to be opened. Maybe they once felt abandoned. Maybe you once felt like you didn't belong. But now, everything is shifting. The little bells hanging outside your door are ringing, and the invitation to come home is already in motion. The sacred part of this journey is that you offer them a chance to return, not just into a house, but into the heart of who you are now. You're not forcing them into a space that no longer fits. You're opening a new space, a place where they can show up as the version of themselves that's finally changed. And that's when the Eight of Cups arrives, not as a rejection, but as an invitation to walk away from illusions, to release the perfect family fantasy. You both once dreamed of something ideal, but now you're walking toward something real. Maybe not perfect, but honest. And from that place, a new definition of family begins to write itself. Then comes the Tower, a quake, a revelation, a truth crashing in like lightning on a clear sky. It might be a message, a secret, a confession, something that shakes you for a moment. But listen, Anything that once made you feel safe, but was built on fragile ground, has to collapse. And you'll realize the destruction was never to punish you, it was to rebuild you, not in stone, but in unconditional love. If you're ready, whisper this: I accept the truth. Because when you say that, you are choosing freedom, not more suffering. 7 of Cups appears, like a mist of illusions, so many choices, so many roads, but also so many distractions. Look closely. Ask your heart what is real. Don't choose because it shines. Choose because it's true. The universe doesn't ask you to choose right now, but it will test your growth. And now, King of Cups, the ruler of emotion, not cold, not impulsive. This is someone who understands that deep feelings must be handled with calm presence. Maybe you, or the other person, are entering that emotional maturity now. Whether you're male or female, whatever role you play, embodying this king is the medicine both of you need. Stay calm. Listen. Don't defend, but don't collapse either. Just be present with quiet strength. Then the 6 of Pentacles shows up, the sacred balance between giving and receiving. This connection, if it's going to continue, can't be one-sided. One person can't always be the giver. One person can't always be the one apologizing. You must be grateful when you receive and humble when you are forgiven. Everything must flow like breath, in and out. No forcing, no demanding, only giving, receiving, and rising together. And then, once again, the 3 of Swords appears. This time, upright. The wound is still there. It hasn't disappeared just because you looked away. It only begins to heal when you're brave enough to face it and say, I was hurt. And the miracle is, once one person dares to look at the pain with gentleness, the healing begins. Not because someone fixed it, but because you stopped denying it. If this speaks to you, write this down. I am healing my heart, not for me, but as a sacred promise to yourself. Then enters the Hermit, a quiet figure holding a lantern in the night. This is your moment to step away from the noise. No advice will guide you more than silence and inner reflection. Before deciding anything about them, listen, not with your ears, but with your heart. Because truth doesn't come from logic. It comes in the still, quiet spaces, without names. And when you've found that inner stillness, the 2 of Wands appears. You're no longer reacting, you're starting to plan. You begin to see clearly where this can go, and how to build it together. You begin to lead it in the right direction. 10 of Swords arrives like the final cold wind of winter. But I want you to smile, because you've hit bottom. And that means there's nowhere to fall, only up. Everything that ended was clearing space for something new, not written in blood, but written in light. And now, 4 of Cups whispers, don't miss the gift. Just because you're sad or mad, don't shut your heart. Because someone once knocked and didn't walk through. When they return, look at them with new eyes. Maybe this time, they're carrying exactly what your soul was waiting for. If you're ready to open your heart again, say it. I open myself to healing. That is the golden key. Page of Pentacles enters next. A young messenger. News is coming. A message. A resource. An opportunity. It might even come through them. But don't only think in terms of money. Know this. It is the result of your persistence. A reward for not giving up. 9 of Cups follows. The card of deep contentment. You'll feel full, not just because they came back, but because you're no longer the version of yourself that once shattered. You've become stronger, softer, clearer, and it is that evolution that brings the dream to life. And finally, the Sunday, radiant, undeniable, unapologetic, a light that not only illuminates the road ahead, but warms the parts of you that forgot how to feel joy. Joy is returning. Love is returning. Family will no longer be an idea, but a living, breathing experience. And this time, it's not coming to test you. It's coming to welcome you home. And the shadows, like the final wisps of a fading dream, begin to melt as the honest light of a new dawn spills through the cracks of your open heart. The Eight of Wands shoots forward like flaming arrows, swift, unstoppable, and like a universe awakening from sleep, everything starts to move. The gears of fate realign, momentum builds, and the things you prayed for are now becoming real. Don't blink. You might miss the miracle if your heart is beating to the rhythm of these shifts. If you feel a new kind of life dancing inside your soul, then leave a sacred commitment. I receive joy. That's the door you open, so the light can pour in and stay. Next comes the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Truth, of clarity wrapped in compassion. This is not the time to avoid or sugarcoat. When you speak with them, be honest. Say what needs to be said, but speak it with love. Don't pull a sword, offer light instead. Because truth, when wrapped in kindness, becomes the medicine that heals the deepest wounds. The Five of Wands appears like crashing waves, conflicts, disagreements, small misunderstandings, not here to destroy, but to help two souls learn to dance to a new rhythm. Don't fear the tension. See it as the lesson you needed to build a stronger harmony. These moments didn't come to block you. They came to teach you how to love the right way. And then, the World, the final gate, the last card in the cycle. This is the sacred ending of a long karmic journey between you and them. Not everyone gets here, but you did. And when you see this card, you know, everything is reaching wholeness. You've come full circle. Now it's time to stand in the center and breathe in the fullness of what you've become. Ace of Cups enters now, the pearl of pure emotion. A fresh stream begins to flow through your heart, a heart that once felt dry, now overflowing with a play, deeper knowing. This is the beginning of a new emotional chapter. A love washed clean from past shadows, a bond born from awakening, no longer twisted by old pain. If you feel that, say it aloud. New beginning. Because right now, you're rewriting the definition of family, of love, of belonging. The Seven of Pentacles reminds us, waiting was never in vain. You planted, you watered, you waited with faith. And now, the first green shoots are breaking through. Every quiet action, every sacrifice, every moment you chose love over blame, is about to be answered with a season of abundance. Don't rush the harvest. Keep tending. The season is almost here. And now, the Chariot, the unstoppable force. You're no longer a passenger in this story. You are holding the reins. You're steering this path forward. No one can pull you off your soul's road anymore. Whether they return or not, whether things go as planned or not, you have become your own guiding light. And that is the real victory. The next cards reveal more about this J figure. Gemini appears. They may be a Gemini, or this may unfold in Gemini season, May or June. When fast-moving, energies shake the truth out of hiding. Right after, Capricorn arrives. This points to you or them having strong Capricorn placements. A season of accountability, a time of outcomes, a season of truth and reckoning. And then, the letters begin to appear. J shows up like a final confirmation. Not coincidence, not confusion, but clarity. Then comes M, then A, then R. This is no longer about just one person. This is a soul network, a family lineage being healed. Through the doorway you've opened, pay attention to names carrying these letters. They're being called into this journey, not to watch from the sidelines, but to transform alongside you. If you feel the connection, write it down. That's how you speak back to the universe. That's how you show you're listening, and that you're ready to live in full awareness. December appears like a sacred appointment, closer than you think. This is when all the puzzle pieces begin to fall into place. A door opens, a message is sent, a heart is touched, and the universe lets out a soft sigh. Because you chose the path of light, and now you start to feel it clearly. Something's approaching, a destined timestamp, a December that opens the very first gate of your journey, not with thunder, but with a whisper, an unexpected call, a message you didn't see coming, a look that feels strange, yet familiar. Don't ignore it. Listen with your heart. Because when December arrives, the first seed of reunion begins to take root, and then comes February, no longer a prediction, but a blooming. If December is the spark, then February is the fire that warms your hands. Every conversation will go deeper. Every word will carry emotions, finally, purified, and you'll know. This time, no one's pretending. June carries the energy of fruition. This is when the whole journey begins to crystallize. A broken connection could become a foundation. Someone once distant may return as someone essential. And then, September. Not to close the story, but to pause right in the middle of the road and look back at the full circle you and only you were brave enough to walk. If any of these months stir something inside you, write it down. Just like you'd underline the sacred days in your soul's diary. I draw one more card, and the King of Pentacles appears. This king doesn't speak with words. He speaks through presence, through stability, through consistency. And his message is simple. You can lean on me. He could be your father, an older brother, a pillar in the family, or maybe a steady, grounded part of yourself that you're about to need to hold the lineage together. And then, the star rises, a new breath, after a long storm. This card is hope. It's the reminder that what was lost was never truly gone. It's just waiting to return, brighter, softer, better timed, and healthier than before. The star doesn't change the sky. It simply lights up the direction you need to go. And there, approaching slowly, is the Knight of Cups. He doesn't charge in. He comes gently, with a golden cup and a quiet but sincere invitation. I want to reconnect. I'm still here, and I never stopped loving you. If that person returns with a gaze like that, a breath like that, a simple, humble presence, then don't listen with your ears. Listen with your heart. You may not hear the word sorry, at least not loudly, but you'll feel a heart knocking on your door, not with excuses, but with gratitude. And in that moment, you'll understand there were always things between you and them that were never said aloud, but always there, waiting to be acknowledged. And that acknowledgement is the first step toward true reconciliation. And now, I ask just one thing of you, one soulful favor, that when all of this unfolds, when the moments align, come back here, return to this space, find this video, whether it's December, June, or some future moment only destiny knows, and tell me, with the voice of your truth in written form, it all happened just like you said. Peace has returned to my family. If you feel that connection deep in your heart, write it down. It's your way of speaking back to the universe. It's your way of saying, I'm listening. I'm awake. I'm ready to live with intention. December appears as a sacred meeting point, so close, closer than you think. This is the time when all the pieces begin to fall into place. A door opens, a message is sent, a heart is touched, and the universe exhales, because you chose the path of light. And now, you can feel it. A clear sense that something is coming. A moment in time. A destined encounter. A December that opens the very first gate of your journey. Not with thunder, but with a whisper. An unexpected phone call. A surprising message. A glance that feels strangely familiar. Don't overlook it. Listen with your heart. Because when December arrives, the first seed of return begins to bloom. And then, February. No longer a forecast, but the moment everything begins to flourish. If December is the spark, then February is the fire you'll warm your hands by. Every conversation will carry more depth. Every word will be soaked in emotion, purified by truth, and you'll feel it. This time, no pretending. June will bring results. A time when the journey of transformation finally takes solid form. A once broken bond may become your new foundation. A once distant soul may return as someone irreplaceable. And then, September. Not to close the chapter, but to let you pause, stand at the center of your path, and look back at the circle you were brave enough to walk. If any of these months stir something inside you, write it down. Mark them like sacred dates in the journal of your soul. I draw one more card, and the King of Pentacles appears. He doesn't speak in words. He speaks in presence, in action, in groundedness. He says, "You can lean on me." He might be a father, an older brother, a quiet pillar in the foe's family, or he may be a steady part of you that's about to rise, to hold the line for your lineage. And then, the star, a breath of fresh air. After the longest storm, a reminder that what you lost was never truly lost. It's coming back, brighter, clearer, at just the right moment. The star doesn't rearrange the sky. It simply lights the way forward. And right there, the Knight of Cups is drawing near. He doesn't rush. He comes gently, carrying a golden cup. A soft, sincere offering. I want to reconnect. I'm still here. And I never stopped loving you. If that person returns, with eyes like that, a breath like that, a quiet voice filled with meaning, then listen, not with your ears, but with your heart. You might not hear the word sorry, not loudly, anyway, but you'll feel a heart knocking at your door, not with excuses, but with gratitude. And you'll understand that between you and them were things never said, but always there, waiting to be acknowledged. And that is the first step toward true reconciliation. And now, I ask you for one thing, a sacred favor, soul to soul. When this happens, when it all unfolds, come back here. Find this space again. Find this video, whether it's December, June, or some distant moment down the road, and tell me, in your own words, it happened just like you said. Peace has returned to my family. You're not writing it just for me. You're writing it for all the souls out there, wandering, waiting for a sign that they too can heal. Let your story be a lighthouse. Let your journey be a living, breathing truth that says, there is hope, there is family, there is light. And if this touched your heart, just write a simple sentence, I open my heart to true love. Then, come back here, on the day your miracle arrives. Tell me your story. I'll be here, with my worn deck and an open heart, waiting for your return. I love you with a love that stretches beyond screens and beyond distance. Even if I can't see your face, I feel the gentle energy radiating from the other side. I feel your longing to be loved, to be understood, and the quiet kindness that lives inside your heart. Thank you for letting me walk with you on this journey. Thank you for opening the door of your soul and allowing me in. With these cards, these ancient symbols, and the stories waiting to be told, I never take your trust for granted, because I know this is sacred treasure. That's why I approach every reading with the deepest respect, with full devotion and with the greatest love I can give. Some days, the messages come as sweet whispers. Other days, they come as necessary lessons to help us grow. But whether gentle or challenging, I always hope they bring you one thing above all: support. You are the architect of your own destiny. I'm just a humble translator, reading the blueprint your soul already wrote. And from what I've seen today, I can say this with certainty: you have everything you need to build a beautiful life. A radiant future is waiting. If you'll meet it with faith, trust that I'll be right here, with my deck ready, and my heart open wide. And when you return, I'll welcome you like an old friend, coming home from a long journey. And together, we'll continue uncovering the sacred mysteries the universe has yet to reveal. But before we part ways, I want to offer you a blessing, not a formality, but something infinite. May the light of the Creator guide every step you take. May clarity walk with you in every choice, and may love be the lantern in the dark. When you lose your way, may your family, from the youngest to the eldest, be wrapped in harmony, where arguments turn into understanding, where silence is replaced by laughter, where hearts once hurt are healed through unconditional embrace. And above all, may the one whose name begins with J, wherever they are, be touched by the universe. May their hearts soften. May their thoughts turn toward the light, and may they hear, even if only in spirit, that there is a family waiting, loving them, and holding a place for them in their hearts. Always remember, tarot never forces anything. It simply reveals what energies are available. But you, through your free will shape where they flow. Don't fear change. Don't fear truths being revealed. Everything you're going through is part of a divine plan, leading you toward your soul's evolution. Trust your intuition, that quiet voice within, always right. Trust in love, the bond that connects you to those you care for, beyond time and space. And above all, trust in yourself, a being of light, learning to turn pain into wisdom. Because, as we saw with the sun, light always returns. Carry this message with you. In the days ahead, let it sink in, gently. Watch, notice, names, dates, dreams. The universe will keep whispering to you, affirming that what you heard here today is real. And now, if this message gave you even a little light, a moment of softness, a small flicker of hope, please don't leave without leaving a like. To you, it's a simple touch, but to this community, it's how we share the light. And if you haven't subscribed, do it now, so that destiny can lead us back to each other at the right moment, with the right message, for the right heart that's ready to open. I wish you peace, today, tomorrow, and always. And I'll see you again in the next reading, my brave one.